Joining us now from Washington is Margaret Hamburg. She's Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration. Good to have you with us this morning. At this point, half a billion contaminated eggs, and it seems like this could be growing based on what's happened over the past few days. Do we know, have we positively identified the source at this point?
The investigation is still continuing. We're working closely with our federal partners, the Centers for Disease Control, and our state partners, but we are very clear now is exactly how these eggs have been distributed across the nation, trying to make sure that we're capturing all of the products that are potentially contaminated and letting consumers know that information and making sure that stores pull those eggs from the shelves.
But is there a final determination at this point as to how, in fact, they became contaminated?
You know, it's complicated because there are many ways in which the eggs can become contaminated, whether it's environmental contamination on the farms, infection of the laying hens, or feed that's contaminated. So we're still working on the details of the initial source.
I know that there are some new rules that went into effect specifically for eggs from the FDA in early July, so before some of these eggs came to market. Those new rules, though, are very tough to enforce, especially when you look at the number of eggs. There are 80 billion eggs produced in the U.S. every year. I mean, is there something in place now that can effectively control this for the future, or do we have to continue to worry about contamination?
These new egg safety rules are very, very important. Unfortunately, they went into effect a little bit after this outbreak began, but these rules put in place for the very first time very rigorous and specific safety standards so that we can hold companies accountable for compliance with important preventive measures to reduce the risk of salmonella and other foodborne illness.
Wright County Egg, which has been linked to this, the Washington Post, the Associated Press, both reporting a number of health and safety violations by this company, and some of them fairly recently. Why were they able to keep doing business with those violations? Well,
the violations that you're referring to are outside the purview of the Food and Drug Administration, had to do with other aspects of their operation, certainly from the accounts I've read, very worrisome. We're focused on food safety, and so we're investigating the emergence of this new concern with respect to food safety and acting very aggressively.
Those weren't under your jurisdiction, is what you're saying?
No, they weren't.
These are health and safety.
No, they weren't.
Well, we'll continue to follow this. We appreciate you being with us this morning, Commissioner
Hamburg.
Thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you.